Hey, this is Gilly Woodhouse on the Osteobusiness podcast, talking all things osteobusiness. Here's Gilly Woodhouse, an author, speaker, award-winning business coach, and passionate advocate of osteopathy.
Tim.
Howdy, hello. How's it going?
Very good. I
Good.
am so pleased to see you looking so well.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be back and pleased to get off the mountain.
Yes. So I've got a lot of questions for you, Tim,
Sure.
because this was grueling for us as well, you know.
Yeah. I think it was a lot of people feel like they were on the mountain with me.
Yeah. Our hearts and souls were up there. So why Everest?
'Cause it's the biggest mountain in the world.
Simple as.
Yeah. I always aim high. I think, you know what? I just thought it's the biggest mountain in the world. It's an incredible mountain, and I just thought let's give it a go and let's climb it. I've always liked mountaineering and climbing and hiking, and so I really started training for 18 months ago, and I thought I can do this, and I thought I could do it because I saw other people on social media doing it, and I thought I could do that, so I went and did it.
Terrific belief. Yeah. And what did the family think when you announced the plan?
Kay's first words were, "It's ludicrous." I didn't tell Kay straight away. I told my CEO and my group practice manager, Lorraine and Luke, first. And I broached the idea. I said, guys, look, I've got it. I've got this thing. It's in me. And I just feel like I need to go and climb a big mountain. Would you support it? And they said, yes. And I went home and told Kay. And I said, I want to do, well, at first I didn't say I wanted to do Everest. I'd said I wanted to do some big mountains because I didn't actually know I wanted to do Everest straight away. I just thought I wanted to do some big mountains like Ama de Blam and Matterhorn, Mont Blanc and others. And I want to climb the most beautiful mountains in the world. So I did that first. And when I felt I was in a comfortable situation, I said to Kay, I think I want to do Everest now. It took a while because I wasn't sure that I wanted to do it. And then she just said, it's ludicrous. It's completely ludicrous. You know, don't do it. And that was it, pretty much it.
That spurred you on, clearly.
Yeah. I just said, look, Kay, you know, it's in there. I've got to do it. I want to do it. It's something I've got to do. I've got to get out of my system. So she did support it. She was very, very supportive. And it took a while, but for her to understand the process, because it's a complicated process. It's a very long process. It takes an awful lot of preparation, enormous amount of cost and preparation, and enormous disruption to your family life. And no matter what anyone says, it's also an incredibly selfish thing to do. And I knew that, and it's a very selfish thing to do because all your family are disrupted, from your parent, from your mum, my mother, to her parents, to her, everyone's disrupted. So, but they knew it was in me, and I had to do it, so they supported it, which was amazing.
Yeah. And what about the kids?
Well, the kids, that was tough for George. Rosa is a little young. She's 8. George is 10. He completely got it. It was a little disruptive, of course, because I do a lot with George. I do almost all the school drop-offs and pickups, football, take him to various things, and football training and football. And, I really missed watching the matches. But my mum helped out, and Kay did a lot, and her parents did a lot. So we covered it. I was away for 40, I think 46 or 47 days in the end.
Yeah.
Which is a long time to be away from your family.
It is a long time, yeah. Yeah. It was
And a worrying time, of course.
It was.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah.
So what's the first thing Everest taught you?
It teaches you a lot. It teaches you about resilience. It teaches you about never giving up. It teaches you about survival. It teaches you about dealing with extreme conditions. which you get very extreme conditions. It's just the most inhospitable, barren place, and it's it's in a valley in the middle of nowhere, in the Himalayas. There's no roads, there's no cars. Everyone treks in on foot, and it's a long trek to get where you need to get to. And you get small planes and helicopters because there's no other way to get around. And you're dealing with extremes of altitude and temperature, and your body has to be incredibly resilient. It is brutally hard, and you go from sea level to 5,000 meters, and that's tough. And then above 5,000 meters is more than tough. It's your body breaking down.
God.
And the higher you go, the quicker your body breaks down. And there's no acclimatization above 5,000 meters. You just deteriorate. The longer you're up there, the harder it is, and you don't really get used to it. You kind of adapt to some degree in some aspects, but the tough thing is trying to adapt to the cold. It's brutally, horribly cold.
Gosh.
And it's just so bone-chilling cold. And summit day was just the worst cold ever. So it's a crazy, unique experience that's extremely hard on the body. The body's just not meant to survive at 5, at 5, 6, 7, 8,000 meters.
No.
Which is why above 8,000 meters they call it the death zone. Because it's known as death zone above 8,000 meters. And you've really only got about 36 hours probably there, even with oxygen. So you've got very limited time there before your body shuts down, which it does. And our bodies were all shutting down. It was a brutal experience.
Oh.
Really hard.
So how do you even train to that point where you can even attempt that?
So I broke down training into various categories. First of all, I did cold training. So every single day through the winter, unless I was out of the country, even on holiday, I would do ice bath training. So every single day I did ice bath outside. I mean, the kids would break the ice and I would get in it and I'd do 5 minutes, sometimes 10, almost always 5 minutes of ice bath training every single day through the winter. So I did that every single day. I never missed a day ever. So first of all, is getting used to the cold. So you've got to get used to the cold. It gets really, really, really cold. So second of all, cardio. You've got to be super fit. I was the fittest I've ever been. I ran every day for about 400 and something days. I think 450 days I ran every single day. Almost 18 months I ran every day. I only missed 2 days when I was up Matterhorn and when I was up Mont Blanc, and you couldn't run on top of a mountain.
No.
But even when I came down from summiting, I'd go for a run. I ran every single day, minimum of 2K, and although a couple of times I did 1K, but almost always minimum of 2K. And I ran every day, and I cycled as much as possible. So I stopped driving to work and I cycled to work. I cycled to pick the kids up from school. I run to pick the kids up, cycled everywhere. So cardio. Number 3, grip training. I did a lot of grip training and hanging to build grip strength. You've got to have good grip, really good grip. To grip ropes, rocks, you've got to pull yourself up a lot. And the 4th is altitude training. So I slept in an altitude tent for 5 months. So I had a hypoxic machine, a big oxygen machine, and it pumps low oxygen into a tent. And I had one in my office and one in my spare bedroom. And I had a tent, and I slept in it for 5 months every night, unless I was away, like we went skiing. Obviously, you can't then. But even when I went away in England, so when I went to Snowdonia, when I went to Cornwall, I took my tent with me. I'd rig the tent up and my oxygen machine in the hotel room, and I'd sleep in an altitude tent. And I built it up from 2,000 meters to 6,600 meters
Whoa.
over 5 months. So you build up very, very slowly. So you adapt, and it's very uncomfortable because it gets very, very warm. But you have a fan. So you have a fan in the tent. You have an oxygen machine to tell you your oxygen levels, and you have a pulse oximeter to measure your oxygen levels in your blood. And then you sleep in a tent all night.
And so
And I did that for 5 months.
that's just incredible. I mean, were what were your sats like
Um,
in the tent?
they drop, so they vary. You adapt. By the end of it, I was probably 6,000 meters of like mid 80s, low 80s to mid 80s on my saturated oxygen. So your normal saturated oxygen would be 95 and above.
Yeah.
If I tested yours now or mine now, it'd probably be like 98, 96, 97, 99, 100. Generally, someone with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, would probably be around, I guess, around mid 80s. And then we drop way lower. So the lowest I was on Everest, I woke up one morning at 4 a.m. with 22%, which is seriously very dangerous. And
how do you even survive that?
well, my body just woke me up, so I guess it must have been triggered by a lack of carbon dioxide in my blood or something. And then I got an oxygen cylinder. But I'll tell you about that because that was after the summit. And then a couple of times I had oxygen in mid 40s. I had 43, 44. So I got a great video of me with a pulse oximeter on, and I had 43 and 100, and I think it's 115 pulse rate, resting pulse rate. So as your oxygen levels go down, your resting heart rate goes up. So when you're on the mountain, your heart goes crazy. You're like, it's almost like pounding out your chest. So it's desperately trying to pump oxygen around your body. So your heart rate goes up massively. So I measured, well, you were on my WhatsApp group. So I every day I measured my resting heart rate. And you could see as I was going higher, so was my resting heart rate. Yeah.
Gosh, isn't that incredible that the body does that to compensate, though?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
The body's amazing. It always strives for homeostasis, for balance. So it will have negative feedback cycles and loops to bring you back into balance. So it will always try to balance out your body systems. And that's what it does, and it does it beautifully.
I can't get over how low your sats were. I only know because I spent a lot of time in hospital with Toby, and if that was one of the things that we were always looking at, and they'd be like, oh, if you went below sort of 95, they weren't happy.
Yeah.
So you saying to me like 20 odd percent?
22, I got to 22% in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. one night at Camp 4. I was at 7,900 meters.
It's extraordinary, Tim.
Yeah, I'd run out of oxygen. So I had an oxygen mask on, and I'd run out of oxygen. My mask, I woke up, my mask was off. I just woke up at 4 a.m. In the middle of the night. I went to bed with a mask on. I woke up, my mask was off, so I must have pulled it off because I was run out of oxygen. Popped on my pulse oximeter, 22%. I thought, shit, I'm in real trouble here. grabbed a spare oxygen canister, took the old one off, had to unplug it all, plug it, put it all back in, get it all switched on, put the mask on, and then went back to bed. Yeah.
That's that in itself must have been exhausting trying to do that when you've got
absolutely exhausting. I mean, trying to do anything at 7,900 meters is absolutely exhausting. Like putting your sleeping bag in a sleeping bag holder is absolutely exhausting. Just going for a pee is exhausting. Everything's exhausting. Now, I just put a slight caveat on that. The pulse oximeters can vary in their readings when you get very cold, and my hands were very cold. So sometimes you have very cold hands, it can give you an artificially low reading.
Oh, because it can't get at it.
I don't know how accurate it was, but that's what it said on the device. But my hands were also very cold, so it may have been a lack of blood flow going to my fingers. So I've got frost. I've got frost nipping on my fingers right now. So all my fingers are numb. All my fingers and thumbs, all the tips, all numb, completely numb. Numb. They're like all pins and needles and numb and uncomfortable.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They'll hopefully come back gradually.
Yeah, it'll take a month. Yeah, I've had it before. I had it when I climbed down Mount Blanc. I had it in 3 fingers when I climbed down there. I had these 2 fingers in this thumb. This thumb took a week, and these 2 fingers took a month to come back.
That's
Now I've
funny.
got it on all my fingers. But a lot of people got frostbite out there. Loads of people got frostbite. We had a brutally cold summit night, but I'll come on to that.
Yeah. How many people were up there roughly? Just out of interest. Sounds like a
On
busy
a day I
place.
summited, I think there was 200, something like 200.
Oh, you're
And the day
joking.
before was the busiest day in history, in Everest history. I think it was 240 summited or something like that, approximately. There's over 200 summited the day before. That was very, very busy. And ours was second, I think, second busiest day. It was very, very busy.
And how much weight did you lose while you were up there, Tim?
10 kilos.
Whoa.
I went from 72 to 62. Tracked it all. Took my scales with me. Withings gave me scales and a smartwatch. So I was measuring everything on Withings scales, and they're like smart scales. So they measure body composition, they measure muscle mass, they measure fat. My fat dropped to 8%. I lost 10 kilos. Yeah, I lost something like 4 or 5 kilos just on 5 days in summit. I was losing a kilo a day. But
Wow.
you're burning 10,000 calories a day.
Really?
Yeah, and you're not eating anything. You're hardly eating anything because you just have zero appetite. And it's so much effort to eat. You just have no energy to eat.
Oh my goodness.
So you're hardly eating anything. So you lose weight, you lose a kilo a day. You're losing absolutely shredding weight so fast. Yeah. I lost like, I think 4 or 5 kilos in 6 days or something. So 62, I went from 72 to 62.
You know, I was desperate to send you a beef casserole or something
Yeah. Thank you.
feed you
Yeah.
up.
Pick me
The
up. Yeah.
the mama in me was wanting to cook
Yeah.
for you. I was like, oh, this boy needs to eat.
Yeah. I was losing so much weight. Yeah. I was losing it fast. And it's another reason your body's just, it's literally just decomposing.
Oh my God.
Your body is annihilated. It's big time annihilated. And that's why you're so weak. You're not eating properly. You're not drinking properly. You've got low oxygen. You're exerting an enormous amount of energy. You have nothing left in your legs. It's just your mind that keeps you going.
Wow. And
It's
I mean, presumably that
brutal.
did your mind play tricks on you? Did it say, what you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it always says that. Yeah, it always says it. But then you say, no, do you know what? I'm just got to keep going. Yeah, it says to me all the time, I can't do it. You can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I look
Really?
up and I just think, I can't do it. There's no way I could get up there. There's no way. It's too steep. It's too far. I can't get up there. It's going to take like 4 hours to get up the hill. But you just got to keep going. You have no energy. You have zero energy in the legs. You're exhausted, absolutely exhausted. And that's why people literally lie down. So the big rule on Everest is never lie down. Never, ever lie down. So you're not going to get up.
Oh, really?
Just sit down. Just don't lie down. Because people lie down, they don't get up. They just fall asleep. Your body's you're just so tired. You just want to sleep. You just literally, you're walking up, even something Everest, you're walking up and you're just thinking, I'm just so tired. I just want to sleep. And you just cannot lie down. It's the cardinal rule of Everest. Never lie down.
What did you actually eat, Tim?
So when you're on the mountain, you eat adventure food. It's like packet food. So you get pasta carbonara, you get spaghetti bolognese. So I chose pasta carbonara. I chose those two. It's like a packet. You fill it up with hot water and you eat it with a fork or a spoon.
Really?
And other times lower down at Camp 2 and lower, we ate rice. So almost every meal was rice, just plate of rice. That was it.
Really?
Yeah, you get rice. And they do meals at Camp 2 sometimes. So sometimes you get other meals, like just basic stuff. And then I had real meal bars. I had these energy bars, and then I took dried fruit. So I bought dried fruit from a shop in Dingboche, which is one of the villages lower down. So you
Yeah.
have dried mango, dried pineapple, and that was super nice because eating dried fruit is sweet, so it's really easy to eat. So dried mango, ginger, and pineapple. Just eat that. I had apples, and yeah, eating is a big problem. Eating and going to the toilet is a big problem, as you can probably imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It's all a big problem. Doing normal things is a big problem on a mountain. and your tummy is screwed. Like I had awful on my summit push from base camp to camp 2. I had terrible tummy cramps. Like they bend you over double. Oh no, oh no, and you're like, oh no, just squeeze, because if you don't, it's coming out. Because you really loose bowels, like really had diarrhea. It was really bad. You had to really squeeze it in. That disappeared after 24 hours. I was really lucky. Some people had that for days.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, everyone gets bad tummy. Everybody, like almost everybody gets bad tummy. Almost everybody gets Kumbu cough. You get a dry cough. I didn't, luckily, but most people do. And then almost everybody gets a cold.
Yeah, because you were saying there was a lot of sick people, I recall, and you were trying to keep away from their breath so you didn't catch.
Yeah, there's loads of sick people around. I mean, they're in the tea houses, they're in the dining areas at base camp, they're everywhere in base camp. There's sick people everywhere. There's a medical centre at base camp. Luckily, I didn't have to visit it, but there's sick people everywhere. Loads of people get ill and then they have to go down and recover.
Yeah.
Because you don't recover at 5,000 meters.
No.
So you have to go down. You have to go lower down, and then you get better.
And is that just the name of the game? It's just bad luck, or is that maybe they're not equipped to do the climb?
Yeah, I think sometimes it is just bad luck. I mean, there's a lot of germs going around, and anyone can get a cold, even if your immune system's really strong. But yeah, if you've got a good immune system and you're fit and healthy, you are probably less likely to get it. Or if you do get it, you probably get over it quicker. And there's virtually no way to avoid getting a bad belly. I mean, they talk about using the gel and not touching stuff, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You know, it's just everywhere. Everyone gets a bad belly. You know, it's really hard to avoid.
God,
and I had bad belly like 3 or 4 times. But
not helpful, is it, when you're struggling to get any food in you in the first place? That's really not helpful.
And you've got to starve it to get it out, and that's a problem. And also, when you've got a bad belly, you have zero energy. It's like you just have no energy to hike. So you've got to get over that as well. So it makes it tough. But the thing about summiting Everest is that nothing is easy. There's setbacks the whole way. You know, you are in the middle of nowhere, and it's at altitude, in a valley, in a mountain system, and there's a lot of setbacks. There's things that go wrong all the time, and you've got to just be adaptable and you've got to understand that that's what's going to happen, and it does happen. Everything goes wrong, absolutely everything.
What sort of things stick in your mind?
Well, I paid for extra oxygen, and I didn't get it. We couldn't get it. They couldn't get the oxygen up there, so I never got extra oxygen. So I got 4 bottles of oxygen, which was just enough. But I paid for extra oxygen. I paid, I know, like $3,000 or $4,000 for an extra 4 bottles, I think. And it was never there. It wasn't there. I didn't get it. They somewhere in the logistics they couldn't get it up. And that's not uncommon. So there's always setbacks. You know, I lost my kit. My kit didn't get delivered. So my kit got left behind in Kathmandu. Then it got stuck in Mumbai. It delayed me 3 days. I got stuck in Kathmandu for 3 days because my kit bag was oversized and it didn't get on the flight. And that was really annoying. And loads of things go wrong. I mean, loads. My Sherpa got airlifted off the mountain, which was heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah.
Bawled my eyes out. Absolutely cried my eyes out after he got helicoptered off. So we climbed island peaks. So before you do Everest, you'll often do another peak. You'll often do a smaller peak, like a 6,000. Sorry, trying to block the sun out. So you'll often do acclimatization peaks. Now they're called acclimatization peaks, but they're still very tough. So I did 2 6,000 meters. So I did a 6,200 called Island Peak, and it was tough. And my Sherpa got ill going up. He had a bad cold. We saw him sitting down. I went back to him, checked he was all right. He told me to go on. I went on. I looked back. He's now lying down on the snow. I had a videographer. Yeah, I had a videographer. He went down and was there with him. And then he got himself up and walked back down to high camp. So he walked. We're about 6,000 meters. He walked down to 5,500 meters and took himself back. And we went off and summited. And he got weaker and weaker. He was stopping every 10 minutes on the way down. And we joined him. We got back to high camp. We joined him. Then he started profusely bleeding from both nostrils, like blood was pouring out. I was blocking it with tissues. I had tissues. I was blocking his nose, but it was just pouring through tissues, like saturating the tissues, just gushing out.
Wow.
Then he got really dizzy. And then we were going to put him on a horse to get him lower down, because we thought he had acute mountain sickness. But they said he wouldn't go on a horse because he was too unsteady. The team at base camp were like, there's no way we'd get him on a horse. So we got him a helivac. So we got him a helicopter and they took him to hospital. And that was the last I saw of him. And I lost my Sherpa, a guy I trusted and climbed with before. And I just bawled my eyes out on a 3 hours journey back to, once we got him in a helicopter, he flew off in a helicopter. We then had 3 hours to get back to village. In the late afternoon. Yeah, it was tough. And I just cried on and off. I was so upset. And then they replaced my Sherpa. So Geljan was replaced with a guy called Gilly, who was very, very strong. And then you have to form a new relationship with a guy.
Huge amount of trust, presumably.
Huge.
Massive.
Huge, massive. And these guys are incredible. They're like your brother. They're with you all the time. They're like your brother while you're doing the expedition. And Gilbert was excellent. I mean, I was blessed with two amazing Sherpas. And they do so much for you. You know, they do a huge amount. They carry bits for you. They carry weight for you. They carry bottles, water bottles. They carry your crampons. They carry heavy things for you. So you have to put your trust in them. And they're there to look after you as well. And you're there to look after them and support them and help them and make life easier for them. So I was with Gelby, and then we summited together, which was amazing.
Yeah. And like that moment, what does standing on top of the world actually feel like, Tim?
It was very, very windy, very, very windy. I was absolutely exhausted. So I'll put some pretense on this. We just hiked from Camp 3 to Camp 4. So Camp 3 was 7,100 meters. We spent the night in Camp 3. So I'd had a decent night's sleep without oxygen. And then the next morning I used oxygen. So some people use oxygen from Camp 2. I wanted to use it above Camp 3. So I slept at Camp 3, was fine. No major problems. Put my mask on, got my oxygen on. And then you go from Camp 3. Camp 3's on a 60-degree Lhotse face. It's very steep. And it's called the hanging camp because it's so steep. So that the tents, they don't hang off the slope, but there's like a little flat area, so they're right on the slope. So it's really steep. And you sleep at a bit of an angle. And then you push up and you've got to cross something called a yellow band, which is a massive 60-meter, 80-meter wide band of yellow limestone rock that goes across the Lhotse face. And it's like 160 million years old, a limestone rock. You cross that, and then you come to something called the Geneva Spur, which is like a big rocky outcrop that comes out of Everest. And it's tough. It's very tough climbing. You climb up it, and then you transverse across it. And then there's a little flat section as you lead into Camp 4. So you get to Camp 4, you're at 7,900 meters, and we arrived at Camp 4 exhausted after 10 hours, I think it was. And then we couldn't get in our tent because 7 summits had pinched our tents. So they put their Sherpas in our tents because they thought our tents were empty. So there's a lack of tents, there's shortage of tents, so people just grab tents. And then we waited an hour for them to get out because Sherpas don't do anything without a cup of tea. So they started unpacking our tent. Then they want to sit down, have a cup of tea and take a rest because it's hard work. And then eventually got in our tent at 3 o'clock with all their rubbish that they left behind. They used one of our tents, and Gelba and I shared a tent. And then we had a lay down for 2 or 3 hours. I slept for about an hour and a half. And then and then we got our kit ready, And at 8:30 p.m. we left, so we hadn't slept at all, really. I mean, we had a cat nap, we had an afternoon nap, but we hadn't had a proper night's sleep. So you leave. So we left at 8:30 p.m. and there must have already been 100 people on the mountain. Everyone had left early. Now, we all left early because they predicted very high winds. So we needed to get back before lunchtime the next day because the clouds were coming in and the winds were coming in the next afternoon. As it happened, the winds came in that evening and hammered us, absolutely hammered us. So you leave Camp 4, you're 7,900 meters, you go on a little flat section for about 25, 30 meters, and it's up all the way. And you go up for ages until you get to something called the balcony. And the balcony is 8,500 meters. It's a flat section. It's about 50 meters square, flat section where all the oxygen bottles are. So we hiked through the night up this steep section, and we were queuing for ages. So we caught up the whole line of people ahead, but we ended up at the back of this queue. And it was absolute torture because we were getting hammered by the wind and it was minus 35.
Oh,
it was absolutely freezing cold. I mean, like freezing cold. I had hand warmers in my hand gloves and my boots, but it was absolutely freezing. And every time you move, you get warmer. And then every time you stop, you get cold. And there's a whole concertina down a bottleneck of people. I'd say like 50, 60 people ahead. So you walk 2-3 steps and then you wait 2 minutes. Walk 2 or 3 steps and then you wait 2 minutes, and took ages. So we're absolutely freezing our butts off. Eventually we get to the balcony, get some oxygen. It's the morning. And I look up, there's still such a long way to go. There's still another like 400 meters up to go. And it takes a minimum of 1 hour to go 100 meters. So it's very, very slow because you have no energy. So we swapped oxygen bottles and then we pushed up to the south summit, which is the first summit. It looks like the top, but it's not the top. It's really deceiving. So you look up and you think, oh God, there's the top. It's not that far. It's only a couple of 100 meters, but it's not the top. So you get up to that top and then you look behind and you think, oh, there's the other top. And it's a false summit. And it's not that top either. It's behind there. So it's so mind destroying. So you get up to the top and you're about 8,700 meters high. And then you've got the Hillary step. And the Hillary step is absolutely brutal. So there were 70 people on Hillary step. I've got an amazing photo of just all these people going up the Hillary steps. Hillary steps are the most famous part of Everest. And it's a steep, rocky section that you have to climb up. Got to the bottom of Hillary step. There's a body laying right out there, completely undecomposed, which you have to basically step around. He's right next to the rope, fully clothed, gloves on, ski mask around his neck, face out, head out, wearing full gear, boots, rucksack still on, and he's just lying there flat on his back. I don't know how long he's been there, but you step around his head so you don't step on him. He's right next to the rope. He's gone down right where the rope is.
And he's just died where he is.
Yeah, he just lay down and died. Ran out of oxygen. Yeah.
I can't believe he's still there, that.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, and there's another one there now because an Indian guy died at the bottom of a Hillary step. After me, just after I summited, an Indian guy was after us and died. We saw his campmate. I had a long chat with his campmate. He lost him. He lost him at the bottom of a Hillary step. So what happens is people summit, they come down, they run out of oxygen, they lie down. That's it. They're gone. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's terrible. Really brutal. Really terrible. So you get to the Hillary step, you climb up that. Girl had to give me a good pull up those because I was so weak. He grabbed my harness and he yanked me up a little couple of feet up there on a steep section. And you get to the top there and you carry on, and that's not the top, and you go down a bit and then you go up a bit and then you think you're at the top and then it's behind there. And yeah, when you get to the top, it's absolutely exhausting. And the first thing I thought is is it true that at the top of Everest you can see the curvature of the Earth?
Oh yeah.
Because that's what they say, and you can't. It's completely straight. So that was like, it's
Oh
straight. All
yeah.
those people that said you can see the curvature of the Earth, you can't. It's completely straight, and we had
The,
great views. So
the world's flat after all, Tim.
yeah, you can't see a curve. You can't see it. It looks dead straight. I mean, you can see for miles. You know, you can see for hundreds of mountains, and the clouds all below. You know, and you have incredible views. We had clouds coming in behind us because there's a lot of wind. So big clouds coming in behind us, and we had from the north. We had views right away, about 180-degree views across the south, which was amazing. And we were very lucky. We summited at 1:22 p.m., which is late. We were very slow. It took 17 hours to get to the summit. 17 hard hours. And to get to the summit and back down to Camp 4, it took 22 hours and 15 minutes. It was very, very tough. So we get to the summit, and there's probably about, I guess, like 15, 20 people up there, I guess. And a lot of them were coming, just about to come down. So there was a point when there was just 3 or 4 of us, myself, my Sherpa, my videographer, and his Sherpa at the top. And there was a point where I was the highest person, which is very cool when I look back. So I was definitely at one point the highest person on Earth. And it's, you know, it's quite a big summit. It's probably about 20 square meters, and it's steep, so it's probably sort of that sort of angle. So you've got to be still pretty careful. And there's prayer flags everywhere, loads of prayer flags, and there's a sign that says Everest 8848 at the top. So we were 20 minutes up there, I guess, doing some videos and some photos. My phone battery had died, unfortunately, by then, but we had an SLR camera, a big camera, with my videographer, so we got some stuff. Stayed up there, got hammered by the wind, got cold, took my mask off, and then made it, and then started on the way back down.
And how did you feel?
It didn't sink in at the time. I just felt like, get me the hell off this mountain. Get me down as quick as possible to get oxygen. I need oxygen. We were 8,848 meters. And I just thought, we have to get down and get down quickly.
Yeah.
There's a rule on Everest. It's called the 2 p.m. rule. You have to summit before 2 p.m. Otherwise, you are in grave danger. And the Indian guy that died just after me, he summited at 2 p.m. and got down and died. So the problem is if you're very slow, or you get stuck in queues like we did, and we were slow as well, you use a lot of oxygen, and your oxygen runs. You can't just swap canisters because you've got to carry it.
Yeah.
And each cylinder's weighing like, I don't know, 4.5 kilos. And you've got to carry that up a mountain. It's hard work. So you only carry one cylinder. So that cylinder has got to last you from 8,500 meters to the top and back down to 8,500 meters at the balcony. And if you're slow, you use oxygen faster, and or use more oxygen, I should say. And so we knew we had to get down because we were running late. We wanted to summit at 10 a.m. and we summited at 1:22 p.m.
Goodness.
But people were summiting after us, and they were getting into trouble, a lot of trouble.
Risky.
Yeah, because you've used so much oxygen. If you summit late, you've used a lot of oxygen at that point because you've been on a lot longer.
A lot longer, yeah.
You're more likely to run out of oxygen. And when you run out of oxygen, you have no energy. So oxygen feeds your energy system. It's not, food is one component of having energy, but actually oxygen is much more important. So when you run low on oxygen, which we were running low, you have zero energy. So you just have to literally lift one leg up and let gravity take you down. Wow. And we were on the way down, I was stopping every 10 minutes. I was absolutely exhausted,
And do the Sherpas need oxygen as well, Tim?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, all the Sherpas take oxygen. I mean, you get 1 or 2 Sherpas that won't because they're doing a challenge, they're doing a summit attempt without oxygen. But all of our Sherpas, every single Sherpa in our expedition team used oxygen. Almost all of them use oxygen. I'd say 95% of them use oxygen.
Are they? How often are they going up there in a year?
Most of them just summit once. They just summit once. You get occasionally you'll get someone that will summit more than once. I mean, the record I think is 5 times in a season by a Sherpa, but they just summit once. Yeah, it takes so much out of you. And on my team, so we started with 13 of us. Okay,
Really?
in my expeditions, we had 13 guys. 2 dropped out because they were suffering with mountain sickness, so they dropped out early. And that left 11, and 5 of us summited and 6 didn't, of the 11. So 6 had to turn around due to weather.
What a shame. So they didn't make it at all.
No. A lot of people were turning around. The night I summited, a lot of people were turning around. A guy walked past me after about half an hour of going up the mountain, and he just walked past me shaking his head like this, going, and he was going down because the winds were so strong. It was brutal. But there were a lot of people ahead of me going up, so we decided to stay and go up. But it was slow going. It was very busy, which is very risky. The slower you are, the more risky it is because of the oxygen levels.
Yeah, so you're using it up.
You don't want to be on that mountain longer than you need to be on that mountain. You want to get up and get down quickly.
So then you come back down.
I get back down to Camp 4, and we slept the night at Camp 4 at 7,900 meters, and had oxygen on at that time. I slept with oxygen through the night, except when my oxygen canister ran out. And then
did you sleep well?
Yeah, I was so exhausted. I think I did sleep fairly well. And then we changed oxygen canisters in the night. I changed it because I was very, very dangerously low. Got some fresh oxygen, and then in the morning we packed up and left at about 9 a.m. and headed down to Camp 3, and it was hell, absolute hell. I was so faint. I felt so like I was going to pass out. I couldn't take a deep breath. I just felt like I had no oxygen in my tank.
Oh.
It just felt like I had no oxygen, so I just could not take a deep breath. So it's like breathing, there's nothing there. So I kept taking my mask off, trying to breathe in the ambient air, and then put my mask on and try and figure out if there's more oxygen in the air or more oxygen in my cylinder. I just felt so out of breath. But what it was is because you're going downhill, you're using energy, and the energy makes you out of breath. So you have to stop. Like I was stopping every 5 minutes, maybe every 10 minutes max. Every time the rope changed. So ropes are anchored, and every time I reached an anchor point, I'd sit down and stop for about 2 minutes because I was so exhausted to catch your breath. You just have to put your head down, go, tell your body calm your mind, breathe. You've got air, just breathe, calm yourself, don't panic, breathe. I'm feeling so faint. I was just hanging on to the rope, and I'm just thinking, if I pass out, I'm sure my grip reflex is going to grab this rope. So I'm just going to grab this rope and just walk down. And if I pass out, I'm just going to hold on. You're clipped into a rope as well, so you have a safety line. But I just thought I was going to pass out. I just felt so exhausted.
Huge effort though to get up there. Huge
effort. I mean, it was just, the whole thing from top to bottom took 6 days. I think it was 6 days. I think I've got to recheck, but I'm sure it was 6 days. Yeah, for maybe 5 days. It could be 5 or 6 days, and it's just takes such a lot of effort. It's such hard work. It's like I'd liken it to climbing Mont Blanc 10 times. It's like going up and down Mont Blanc, I think, 10 times. It's 10 times harder than Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc, highest mountain in Western Europe, at 4,800 meters, and it's a tough mountain. Tough mountain to climb Mont Blanc, and I'd say it was 10 times harder. Goodness. It was super hard, super, and I'm super fit. I'm mega fit, but it was super hard.
Yeah.
So we took 2 days to get down. And I get to the Khumbu Icefall, which is an unreal experience. Khumbu Icefall is an incredible experience. It's just massive ice blocks. It's like that sort of angle. You're climbing up ice blocks and you're going across crevasses. The biggest crevasse had 5 ladders. She had crossed 5 ladders, and these ladders are all roped together. And it's terrifying.
I should say.
Because the ladders flex. So when you're on a ladder and you've
Yeah.
got 5 of them all roped together across a massive crevasse that's 40, 50 meters deep, and the ladders flex and wobble, okay, and they are terrifying. I mean, I've got some incredible video footage, and so we cross these ladders and crevasses. There's hundreds of crevasses, and you cross all these crevasses and you climb up these icefall blocks and massive blocks. So we had to cross that, and in the icefalls where I met the Indian guy that lost his friend, and he told me what happened when he ran out of oxygen, and he was running out of oxygen as well, and he almost died as well. And he made it further down and managed to get a spare bottle from another climbing company. So he survived, but his friend died at the Hillary Step. He had to leave his friend behind. It was terrible, absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So I had a long chat with him, which was terrible. He said something to me I never forget. He said as his oxygen was running out, he felt the sun was setting from his body, and it was just heartbreaking listening to it. And then they put his friend's body. He lost 2 friends that day. The one the day before. So two guys died, and
Wow.
they loaded his body onto a helicopter from base camp, and we saw it all happen. It's the most surreal experience. Sad as well at many times. I was at base camp just absolutely bawling my eyes out. I was just so emotional after I summited.
Yeah.
It took 2 days to get down. So once you summit, it takes you 2 days to get back. And it's 2 hard days. It's not easy coming down. Most deaths happen on the way down.
Oh,
People
really?
fall, people slip. Yeah, most people die on Everest coming down. Yeah, run out of oxygen, you're exhausted. Yeah, you've got to be pretty careful. But I say all this, and it sounds quite morbid. Actually, it was a brilliant year in terms of deaths. I think we had 5 or 6 deaths this year, which is very, very low. So it's actually a really
life and death up there, literally, isn't it?
Is really, yeah. It's really, 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 really close. You're really, really close to. You're very close to heaven up there. I tell you, geographically
and literally, I should say.
And literally, yeah. No, I was very lucky. I never felt like I was close that something would seriously happen. I never felt like my life's in danger. I never ever felt like
pretty empty.
I felt like weak, and I felt exhausted, and I felt I need to really focus or I could be in trouble. But I never felt like that's it. My body's gone too far. I'm not going to make it or anything like that. So I was all right. I was okay.
Well, that's commendable.
And your body's absolutely destroyed. I had sunburn all over my face, all over my chest. It's still really sensitive on my chest. I have very bad sunburn. I've got frostbite on my foot, on my toe. So my toe, you're not sure you see in this light, is grey at the end.
Oh yeah.
That's frostbite. It's mild frostbite. It's not gone black, but it's very discoloured and completely numb, totally numb. The doctor was examining it and he was pushing it. I couldn't feel a thing. So I started getting calf pain when I was going up the mountain. I thought I pulled my calf. I thought I strained it. Didn't think much of it. Pushed through it. It hurt for a couple of days. I pushed through it. When I got down, it was really, really bad. And then it got worse. And I flew home 15 hours and my leg, I wanted to chop it off. And I thought, this is not good. My leg is really not good. This is more than a calf tear. I think I've really got something. I think I've got something serious here. I think I've got a blood clot. And I really, really, that's a bad idea to be on a plane with a blood clot.
Yes.
And so I flew home in economy. My leg's killing me. I want to chop it off. And I land at Heathrow and I get back home and I have to take myself straight to hospital. And I go to the minor injuries unit and they take my D-dimer. My D-dimer's skyrocketed 4,000 and they send me to the main hospital and they give me some drugs and they then bring me back the next day for a scan and they find a blood clot in my calf and I've got a DVT in my calf. a 3.7 centimeter DVT in my calf. So I've got
Oh,
a blood clot. So
that's
I'm on rivaroxaban for 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months of blood thinners. Yeah.
Goodness me. And so they can't get that out.
No, they just thin the blood and then it just sorts itself out. But I think it's actually healing now. It's only a 1 out of 10 in pain. It's almost gone. So I think within a week it'll be gone. But that was really painful. My big toe's still painful. I mean, things hurt, but that's minor. If you come back with all your fingers and thumbs and toes,
Yeah.
it's been success. Minor frostbite I can deal with. I can deal with numb fingers. They just take time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I've got away pretty lightly, and I'm all right.
Well, you got me worried a few times, but
Yeah,
it's like, it's difficult to imagine. I'll get cold just going outside,
yeah. I don't get cold anymore.
No,
I'm living in my shorts and flip flops, and I don't get cold at all now.
you're
So I'm
completely acclimatized.
very acclimatized at the moment. So when the weather gets cold in England, it seems fine to me. Yeah. I mean, you
Oh,
just can't describe how cold you are. I mean, and during the day, you're absolutely scorching hot. So there's a section of the valley called the Western Cwm, which is
mm,
named after Cwm in Wales, means valley. So it was named by the 1921 British expedition, who a lot of them trained in Wales. So they called it the Western Cwm. I don't know why. And it's like a solar oven, and it gets scorching hot during the day, like scorching hot. And
oh, so
at
you've got
night, it's
hideous extremes to cope
hideous
with.
extremes, hideous extremes. Scorching hot during the day, like bad sunburn, and then during the night, it's at the temperature absolutely plummets. And you're on the side of a mountain at 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 meters. You've got a minus 30-degree sleeping bag, and you sleep in your down suit. So you sleep fully clothed, and it's pretty uncomfortable. You don't want to get out your sleeping bag, even to have a pee, because it's freezing cold,
Yeah.
like freezing cold.
What does it feel like to sleep in a normal bed, Tim?
Well, I'm finally back sleeping in bed with my wife,
Oh,
which is
good.
amazing because I'd spent 5 months prior to 1 month, prior to 45 days in Nepal, not I was in a spare bed.
Yeah.
So I'm back in the marital bed now, and
Oh,
it's been brilliant. It's
she
great.
must have she must have missed you.
Yeah, I think she got used to having all that space and peace. But we're back together, Kay and I, and we're back in the same bed, which is great. Yeah.
And what's the first thing she said to you when she saw you?
Oh, I don't know what she said. The kids just ran up. The kids ran up. She was videoing. They surprised me, and the kids ran up and gave me massive hugs and cuddles. Kay's got on video, and I was just so gobsmacked to see him, and I was emotional as well. I was very emotional.
Of course
I've
you
done a
were.
lot of crying since I got back from Everest. I can't help myself.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
just literally, it's something will set me off, and someone will say something, and I'll just start like going. It's mad. I can't describe the emotional roller coaster you go through. So
Mm,
I feel so much more chill. I come back, I feel chilled, but I'm definitely emotional. Not as emotional as I was. I was fairly unstable for a few days after getting down, and now I'm stable but emotional.
yeah.
Um,
It's a
the
big
kids
thing,
get
though. It's a
big,
big
yeah,
thing you've
big,
done
yeah, big
and
thing, yeah.
got through, and you know,
Big. It's a big thing. It's a big deal. It's a big, big, big expedition. It's a big, hard expedition.
it's a massive
It's a
challenge.
massive challenge. It's a very tough challenge. It's so much acclimatization, preparation. There's so much rotations, and you up and down the mountains so many times, and you're doing so much climbing and going up and down so many mountains to get used to the altitude.
Yeah.
And your body's just so exhausted, and you have nothing left in a tank. So you're physically and mentally completely drained.
What did Everest teach you about the human body?
Hard. You can. It teaches you you can abuse it pretty hard, but there comes a point where there are some places the body is not meant to survive, and one of those places is above 8,000 meters, and it's the death zone. It's not meant to survive, and it doesn't survive that high. And we've just heard an amazing story. So um, there was a terrible story which just come out 4 or 5 days ago that a Sherpa got left behind on Camp 3 and 4, and he didn't make it down. He was called Hillary Darwa Sherpa, and he's just crawled back into base camp today. It is an incredible story. He's been on the mountain for days now, and it took him 6 days to get down from the summit, and he got stuck up there and without oxygen, without food, and he's made it down, and he's just crawled. They just picked him up just above base camp, and they found him, and it's an amazing story. He's got frostbite on his fingers. He's completely exhausted, can barely talk. Body's completely wrecked. He's a 52-year-old or 50-year-old Sherpa, and he was looking after an English guy and a Polish guy, and they thought they'd lost him, like he died. They sent helicopters up to find him eventually, and he's just crawled back into base camp. So that made my day today. I was so happy. I very nearly shed a tear to hear that. No one wants to hear a Sherpa going down. We lost one Sherpa this year, not in my team. A 20-year-old Sherpa unfortunately slipped down a mountain and slipped into a crevasse. So we lost one Sherpa, but that's a good year. So yeah, it's
Wow.
It's a good day from the mountain today, listening to that story.
Yeah.
There's so many stories. There's so many stories. There's so many disaster stories and survival stories. A lot of people didn't make it in terms of had to turn back. You hear a lot of stories out there.
That must be disappointing when you've done that level of training and
devastating, absolutely devastating.
Yeah. So what did the whole experience teach you about yourself, Tim?
It teaches you, I think, that you got to be resilient and never give up. Never, ever give up. When you got your sights set on something, don't give up, unless it's a life-threatening situation. Never give up. You know what it taught me? One step, one step, one step. Just take one step forwards. Every step is a step closer. And it might take you 17 hours to go from Camp 4 to the summit. But that was 17 hours of just down one step, one step, one step, one step. Because that's all you can do. Just take one step at a time.
Incredible. Well, you got me going now.
We'll set each other off in a minute.
Yeah. Okay. That's just extraordinary. Extraordinary. And I'm just glad that it all worked out and you did it and you got back okay, because
I'm going to get back. I was always going to get back. I was going to get back for my kids and my wife.
It's
a very strong motivation. It's very strong motivation. So I knew whatever happened, I was getting back. Whatever state I was in, I was getting home. I was definitely getting home. I knew that. I knew 100%. I had no doubt in my mind. I'm not going to come home. I'm coming home. I knew it. And death rate on Everest has been very low this year. I mean, it's usually only like 2 or 3%. So it's actually a pretty reasonably safe mountain. I mean, people do get into serious trouble, but it's as long as you have a decent team and you are well prepared, it shouldn't be too dangerous. It's hard. It's very, very hard. It is dangerous, but you can mitigate some of those risks.
Yeah, preparation presumably is key.
It's key. Is really key. It's acclimatization, preparation via acclimatization. It's getting your body used to being at very low oxygen levels. It's very hard on the body being low oxygen. Very, very hard.
Yeah.
Very, very hard. It's just essential. you die without oxygen in what, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's that one thing you need more than anything else in the world. It's oxygen.
Yeah.
You can live without food, without water for days, but oxygen, you got minutes. And it's vital for every cell in your body, every organ. And your organs are shutting down at 8,000 meters. They're literally shutting down.
Can you feel that, Tim?
No, you can't feel it, but your body tells you. Body's screaming at you.
Yeah.
Your body's screaming at you that you are so weak. You're just your body is so weak. You just can't do anything. Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks for covering it. Thanks for following it. I saw your posts on Osteopathy Works, which was brilliant. Yeah. We raised £9,500.
Oh, well done.
25% of that's going to the Osteopathic Foundation. 25%'s already gone to the Sherpas out in Nepal. Right. And that was brilliant. Thanks for sharing that. I did get a few donors from that, so that was brilliant.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I'm happy to tell my story if anyone wants to hear it.
Yeah. Wow, it's remarkable. Would you do it again?
No. My body's too old. I'm 46. And you've got to be, I'm super fit for a 46-year-old, super fit.
Yeah.
But age does not help at this altitude. It hinders. And it's a young man's or woman's sport. It's a young person's sport. It's mid-20s, early 30s, and then it's not something you should be doing in your late 40s or going into 50s. It's far too risky.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Gilly.
Incredible. I'm just I'm my gasket is flabbered. It's quite a thing you did there. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I can't tell you enough.
Thank you.
I think it's incredible. Well done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Osteobusiness podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe on all Gilly's channels, which can be found in the show notes. Gilly's back soon with more tips, ideas, and strategies to build your thriving practice.